Harvey's Curbside to Go means you can experience quality anywhere. Call in and pick it up on your way home without leaving your car. No cooking, no cleaning, just dinner. Harvey's, a difference you can taste.
It's the TikTok sale at Room to Room Furniture. You have 3 days. The more you snooze, the more you lose. Wake up. It's the TikTok sale at Room to Room Furniture.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 5.
Good evening and welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 5. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynard, joined alongside Chief Meteorologist Matt Laupon here in just a moment. Let's first get into those headlines heading into our overnight forecast and into the start, yes, of our spooky holiday, Halloween in full effect. Matt joining us live from Northeast. Again, I said we'll talk to him in just a moment and we'll see it from a pretty cool point of view as well. But not just there, we also have a frighteningly frosty Friday in store for that morning commute. So make sure to go ahead and preheat those cars. Husbands, go ahead and do so. Wives will be very happy with that. But also limited rain chances this weekend. So not fully clear of that moisture. That does move back into the forecast by our Saturday. So make sure to pay attention. So as we look at the first 12, 6 p.m., 57 degrees, 9 p.m., 46 degrees. And then as we get towards 3 a.m., 42 degrees and 40 by 6. That's what we're talking about with those cool conditions. You may have heard it, but Chief Meteorologist Matt Laupon joining us live from Northeast this evening. Matt, pretty cool point of view that we have.
Yeah, we're testing out the Mississippi Live drone out here from the Northeast campus, trying to do the first live drone shot here in North Mississippi of all the folks out here at their tent or treat they have going on this afternoon. A lot of opportunity here again for some of the kids to kind of dress up in a safe atmosphere here on what is kind of a cool day. You can see they have all sorts of tents around here. Of course, the final game of the season, Copiah Lincoln coming up here to play the Northeast Tigers. Northeast, again, sponsor of Mississippi Live Weather. And, you know, we've been providing the forecasts for up at their not tailgates, but, you know, for their broadcasts all year long, as well as on their new Jumbotron that they had installed this year. So it's been kind of fun. I'm still learning how to run this thing here. Well, part of the reason we have this is during severe weather, we'll be using this more to, track tornado damage and severe weather information as well. So definitely looking forward to being able to use this in that sense, and also to kind of give you a view here of what things look like from the sky across North Mississippi. So kind of a cool way. And you'll note here, certainly today, it is beautiful out there. Clear skies about as far as the eye can see in almost all directions. And Gabe, you know that means one thing when that's the case. That means we are talking about some cool temperatures for tonight. In fact, by the conclusion of this game tonight, we expect that wind chill temperatures could possibly be back into the low 40s, maybe even upper 30s out there. So Gabe, I'm going to send it back to you in the studio as you kind of break down city by city how cool it is here. But live from the Northeast campus, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Laupon for Mississippi Live Weather.
Yeah, just a fantastic time, Matt, and a big thank you to you for just taking us high in the sky, getting us a beautiful view there in Booneville for the Northeast Tigers game against Copiah Lincoln. Should be a great home matchup. Should be a great pink out, as we were showing here, or talking about here behind the scenes. So if you have not headed out the door just yet, go ahead and grab that pink. You will need it as you head out towards that game. Of course, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, October is that time, and we're at October 30th, so not too many more days that we'll be able to, of course, we recognize it year long, but of course that month highlighting it. First 12, like we mentioned, still going to be those cool conditions, those frighteningly frosty Friday temperatures. And as we take a look outside, not just in Booneville, but out west in Crenshaw, 61 degrees, northwest winds out of the about 5 to 10 miles an hour, so some slightly breezy conditions, and that, of course, helping bring in that drier and cooler air. Smithville, 60 degrees, 10 miles an hour out of the northwest, so some breezier conditions out there in Monroe County, but that sunshine reigning supreme no matter where you're at, and a drastic difference from what we had this time yesterday, this time all week long. It's finally shifting into more of those sunny skies, and we are here for it, excited about it, and no complaints whatsoever. One last look down there in Noxubee County. Macon shows a little bit of that cloud cover clearing out, but guys, not a blanket of cloud cover. This is just a few puffy cumulus clouds working their way out of the atmosphere. My word, it has been a long time coming, and you can see the cheerfulness in the air as folks head out and about, just enjoying the forecast that we are experiencing, and we'll continue to enjoy that into our Halloween as well. Mississippi Live Weather Radar, what are we tracking right now? Well, I'll tell you what we are not tracking. Rainfall. Been quite a while since we've been able to say that. We have clear skies across the region and dry weather, but yeah, that satellite imagery not exactly showing too much of anything. We had a little bit of cloud cover that was over there towards the south, but that of course cycling on out, and we're left with a much calmer, much drier, much clearer, and much cooler forecast. Looking at our surface analysis here real quick, we can kind of see how that frontal system is working its way through off there towards the north and east, but we are not fully in the clear just yet. We are tracking another thread. This high pressure center, of course, our forecast for now. Let me go ahead and annotate this out. We'll put today on here. And by the time we get this front, this is going to be Saturday. And this is going to start to push into the region and give us our next chances of rain. But you might see it already, like not overly significant rainfall. It's going to be additional light showers that might have a few hundredths of an inch max. And so that, of course, driving our forecast moving forward, and we're watching that front as it progresses closer. Unfortunately, Futurecast does shade it off, but it is still there as it's working its way through the forecast. High pressure driving what we're experiencing until then and keeping those dry, calm, and cool conditions around. As you can see, some of that northerly flow cycling in that drier air once again. This is Friday, 3 a.m., and we continue that same time frame by Friday morning, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Of course, those cooler conditions working into the forecast. You actually do see snow out there towards the Dakotas. So, hey, it could be colder, but at least layer up because it is going to be a frosty start for some of us as we get into that morning commute. So the next 24, what do we need to know? Frosty start to the day as some upper 30s are a realistic possibility out in northwest Alabama. Actually have a frost advisory already in place through 9 a.m. on your Wednesday. Once that fully clears out and the sunshine returns, we'll be warming up nicely into the mid 60s. So yeah, it's going to be a great forecast once again. Perfect for Halloween, perfect timing for those high school football games. I mean, honestly, yes, it was a rainy week, but at least it's timing out how we want it to with those drier conditions. So no complaints here from the Maynor household, and I know there's no complaints from all of North Mississippi now that those soggy and gloomy conditions are a thing of the past. Coming up in the next 60, we're going to see another look live in the sky with our Chief Meteorologist Matt Laupon showing us a look in there from Boonville. And we're also going to be talking more about those football forecasts for Northeast, but also for our college teams, our D1 university, should I say, and our high school forecast. We'll have a full look at that and your trick-or-treating forecast. That's the big thing. We'll have a full look at that here in the Room to Room Weather Center here in the next 60. Oh, did I click off? I did.
This roof's getting installed with our premium roofing system. Backed by our 50-year warranty. And there's a 0% financing, no payment for 6 months options that this customer utilized. If you're looking for a new roof and you need an affordable option, call Absolute Restoration.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama?
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Calm conditions continue to settle in across North Mississippi with blue skies galore. No matter where you're at, whether you're in Winona, Montgomery County, 61 degrees right now, still with those blue skies in the distance, or if you were, let's say, in Maben, Oktibbeha County, 59 degrees, no clouds in Oktibbeha County. So I know the Bulldogs down there enjoying a great forecast. 41 degree dew points, that is definitely an enjoyable forecast as well. And if we look out here towards Pontotoc, 61 degrees, you do have that reflection of the sun right there on the lens of the camera. So showing you it's a sunny, beautiful, and blue sky filled day. But not just here in Pontotoc, we're also tracking that over in Boonville for our Northeast kickoff. Our Chief Meteorologist Matt Laupon taking us high in the sky for a live look in at what game day is looking like out there.
Yeah, we might be, you may or may not have my signal at the moment here, Gabe. what I'm going to need to do, if you can, is can you hear my audio?
Yes.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do to try to make this work here in a second. So I'm going to fire this up. It should be fired up. I'm going to hang up with you, and we'll see if the audio comes on there. And about 7 seconds after that, I'll start talking. That all sound good?
Wait, I think it's back up and running.
Okay? The video should be back up and running. I don't have the drone up because I was going to wait for that moment to talk to you about it. But let's get that up here in just a second. Sorry.
It's all good. It's a beautiful day, so it's not like the forecast is anything too major to be noting.
Okay, there we are. Let's try that again. There. Can you see me now? You can probably hear me way in advance. So I'm going to hang this up, and we'll see if it picks up. Make sure the audio is clicked on that thing there. So I'm going to hang up so we can hear it through that. Does that sound good?
We'll try it. I'll call you back if it's not coming through.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, bye. Unfortunately, I don't think audio is working, so I'm about to call Matt, and we'll get him back on here to do his live shot, but we'll figure it out. Technology is going to technology at the end of the day, so yeah, we'll find out one way or another. But this is a great new addition, and of course, we're excited to get that view in the sky, especially for severe weather coverage. But we'll see. Maybe he doesn't want to talk. But yeah, this will be great for severe weather coverage. An exciting addition. We're just trying to figure out, there is a way to get the audio to work. And of course, we'll be working that into the broadcast as well. Yeah, so I don't think this is going to work. I think we got to call him.
I guess that means it didn't work, Gabe?
Nothing was coming through, unfortunately, but we're getting your shot, and it's a beautiful view.
Oh, now it won't pop up your stuff. Anyway, you can hear me for a moment. I've got to get over there to the front steps of the Student Services Center over there here in a second, because I've got to go judge a costume contest. You can see all the people kind of gathered over there. That's what they are gathering for, is that costume contest. So I'm going to let you go here in a second so that I don't keep all those folks over there waiting. But again, excited for the game tonight, excited for all the fun that folks are going to have. Again, wrapping up a great season of Tiger football here in the homestand, and so excited for that. So for Mississippi Live Weather, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Long.
All right, well, we will bring it back in here to our chroma key and be able to walk through the rest of that forecast. But Matt, thank you for giving us a look in. Let us know your favorite costume. I know there's a lot of creative ones from what I was seeing out there on your shots. So we need to know your favorites and who that winner ends up being, because like I said, it's a stiff competition up there. Let's go ahead and bring it back to the forecast. Mississippi Live Weather Radar tracking those dry conditions across the region. So a much different story than what we had yesterday, but honestly, a much different story from what we've had all this week. Looking at some of those rainfall totals, this is over the past 3 days. Let's just highlight a few of those totals of those amounts. So let's go over there towards Monroe County, 1.1 inches, Tupelo, just under an inch. Hernando, a decent output around 3 inches, and same thing towards Lafayette County, around an inch as well. The Calhoun County had 1.5 inches. Nonetheless, you guys get the general picture. It has been a soggy last couple of days, an inch plus in a lot of locations. Fortunately, what we're seeing right now, though, is some drier conditions. But where this rainfall has really made an impact, it's on our drought monitor. Look at how much things have really taken a step back. Only a level 1 drought in Lee County now. To give you perspective, we were in such dry conditions that a burn ban was issued mid-September, cleared out by mid-October, and with all the rainfall we've been getting, I don't think a burn ban is anything that we need to keep in our sights moving forward. And looking across the region, we do still have that level 3 drought from Calhoun County all the way out there towards Panola County and all the way north there towards Marshall County. Down south, we had that level 4 drought around Aliceville and Pickens County. No more. It has moved off towards the south. We're still towards, I believe that's Tuscaloosa County down there in southeast part of our viewing area. That is still under that level 4 drought, but nonetheless, things are getting better with all the rainfall we are getting. I know it's not exactly the most beautiful forecast, but things are at least trending in the right direction. But Northeast has a great game tonight. Is their pink out night, so we had to pink out our graphic, and we've done exactly that with 54 degrees pregame, 47 by halftime, and 44 towards that final snap. Going to be a cool evening across the region as we get towards that Friday morning. That's why I wore, light blue. I feel like it emphasizes the frostiness that we'll have towards tomorrow morning, and kind of amplifies it just a bit, because light blue kind of synonymous with ice. I don't know. It made sense in my head when I put it on this morning. So as we get into Futurecast, of course, that afternoon forecast staying on the drier side, but also mostly clear. Blue skies galore, like we mentioned at the top of the broadcast. So no matter where you're at, going to be enjoying those great conditions. But honestly, why are you not in Boonville tonight? That's the place to be with game day right there on the campus of Northeast. 9 p.m. on our Thursday stays with those dry and clear conditions, and that'll be the case overnight as well. Now, what have we been talking about all week? Cloud cover, blanketing the sky, kind of trapping the heat that we have. What that means is our heat isn't allowed to escape, meaning we have those mild mornings, but it doesn't allow any more heat in. So our temperatures in the afternoon, pretty cool. It's pretty uniform throughout the day. Well, this isn't going to be the case overnight into the start of our Friday. As you can see, clear skies over the region, no cloud cover blanketing us, so that means that heat is allowed to escape. And with it being fall, just buckle up for these temperatures. We are talking about a crisp, chilly, cool, however you want to word it. It's going to be a pretty cool and frosty morning. Let's go ahead and look around the region. This is low temperatures that we'll expect heading out the door. 37 Water Valley, 39 Holly Springs, and 38 there towards Corinth and Boonville. We look out west. Northwest Alabama currently under that frost advisory for our Friday morning, and reason why, they're expecting even cooler conditions with 34 there towards Hamilton and 35 in Vernon. So bundle up. That's an understatement because we are right above that freezing threshold. And folks, it's going to be, it's going to wake you up in the morning for sure. So Friday morning for our school day forecast, have those multiple layers for those kids that are at the bus stop, 39 degrees towards drop off, 57 by lunch. And by that last bell, not going to need multiple layers, maybe just one layer with 63 degrees and sunny skies in our forecast. Now that sets the scene for a fantastic Friday overall when it comes to our sky conditions because things do warm up. That requires some sunshine, and we're getting a lot of that for our Friday, as you can see right here. By 7:30 on your Friday morning, still dealing with those dry and mostly clear conditions. Like Matt was mentioning, potentially a few patches of fog, but not tracking too much of that in coverage for our morning commute. Our meteorologist Maggie McCauley will have the latest on that. But if we keep that forecast going into that noon hour, you can of course see those dry conditions persisting. A little bit of that thin cloud cover trying to move into the forecast, but no moisture associated with it. It's just going to be a very thin layer high up in the atmosphere, not limiting how much sunshine we get and not giving us any more rainfall. So keeping with those dry conditions for our Friday and into our afternoon forecast as well. I said sunny skies, getting exactly that. So by 4, 5, and 6 o'clock on your Friday, sticking with those dry conditions. But there is an asterisk when it comes to this forecast because if you take a look at what's moving in out west, this is going to be some cloud cover and the leading edge of that cold front that's going to be potentially dropping our temperatures off once again early next week, but also giving us chances of rainfall by Saturday. So keeping eyes on that forecast, eyes on that moisture as things start to transition into our Saturday. High temperatures for our Friday. I mentioned it will be warming up nicely. We're talking 66 Houston, 64 New Albany, and 65 around Amory, 65 towards Greenwood, and 64 towards Cleveland. If we look at that Halloween forecast, we've mentioned frigid conditions, not frigid, frigid is extreme. I'm sorry, the cold is getting to me. Cold conditions for your Halloween, 45 degrees by 6 a.m., 65 by 11, 72 by 2. And as we're getting into the prime of trick-or-treating, 6 p.m., 59 degrees. That is enough to have those layers on standby. So make sure that all the little ones are taken care of and staying warm as they're collecting those massive bags of candy. That's what I'm forecasting for, is a massive bag of candy. I don't know why that skipped ahead. Let's bring it back. There we go. High school game of the week forecast. We were over in Vardaman last week, a little bit of a cool end to the game. But this week, we're getting even cooler. 45 degrees towards that final snap, 60 degrees pregame, still with clear skies, but cloud cover building in by the latter part of the game. So yes, it will be cool, but that cloud cover going to blanket things just a bit more to where we don't cool off maybe as much, maybe a degree or two. It's slightly warmer. So Friday overnight stays with those dry conditions, but like I said, let's zoom out and let's assess this moisture a little bit more in detail. These thin showers, light showers is what I meant. Those will start to work into the region Saturday morning, but even this becoming a little bit more elevated. Looking at dew points in the region, we're only upper 50s, low 60s, so that's not all the way of a moist atmosphere, maybe enough to produce a few sprinkles, but our main batch of moisture will push into the region by 12 p.m. on our Saturday, right in time for those football games. South Carolina coming to Oxford to take on the Ole Miss Rebels, and you can kind of see the rainfall pushing into the forecast. Higher chances than what we were forecasting. I don't think we're at this level of output just yet, but this has verified at least a few of those light to moderate showers moving into the region. No thunderstorms are expected, but definitely rain chances on the climb for our Saturday, and those, of course, persisting into our late evening and overnight hours once again before fully clearing out for our Sunday. That's, again, a part of a front, a weaker front, but a front nonetheless that'll push in some drier air on the backside. So high temperatures currently 61 in Oxford, 61 Holly Springs, and 64 towards Eupora. Some of these, especially out west, could be dropped a few degrees, being that moisture is in the forecast early and will kind of dominate how much of our heating actually takes place. So Mississippi State traveling to Fayetteville. As you can see, rain chances in the forecast. I wasn't a full believer, but now that short range models have moved in and kind of showed a little bit of those rain chances, I'm a believer in at least a few of those isolated showers, even there towards Fayetteville, towards our kickoff at 3 p.m. First play, 54 degrees, 20%, and by that final snap, 45 degrees at 10%. I mentioned that we had a team locally playing, and that is over in Oxford, Mississippi, as Ole Miss takes on the Gamecocks of South Carolina. 10% chances in our forecast. That might be underdoing it, especially by 6 p.m., but a lot of those showers do transition out of the area overnight, so remains to be seen, but we at least are forecasting a few of those light showers trying to move into the region, enough to have a rain jacket on standby. But our Halloween is on Friday. That's what we're all counting down towards, and it is going to be a great forecast. 64 degrees by the afternoon, but that crisp start to the day, 39 degrees, and it's just going to be a time to bundle up as you head out the door. I know some folks like to go in costumes if they're, appropriate for school. If you wear them to school, make sure that they are good to go as well with those multiple layers. Saturday, this is where we kind of get that cooling trend. So 64 degrees Friday afternoon is going to drop to 40 degrees by our Saturday morning. So that shows you another cool night is in store. So make sure to have those layers once again for trick-or-treating, especially the later you go trick-or-treating, the colder it'll be. So depends on what time you go, but either way, I think that we're going to be good to go with at least a couple of layers. Sunday, 60 degrees, 43 for the morning lows. But this weak cold front will definitely drop our temperatures off ever so slightly, back to 39 for our Monday morning, 40 by Tuesday, but plenty of sunshine in our forecast, warming us up by the afternoon. So a lot to look forward to whenever it comes to that extended forecast, but just make sure to stay warm the next 24 hours and enjoy that Halloween forecast. We'll have a full look at that trick-or-treating forecast coming up tonight at 6 p.m., as well as another look at those football forecasts. And we're tracking out kind of that atmospheric analysis moving forward through our weekend with those rain chances and our cooling trend that takes place early next week. So keep it here for the very latest. Download our Mississippi Live Weather app for that information, and we'll, of course, keep you posted on there as much as possible. Our next broadcast is at 6 p.m. tonight, but we also have another one at 10 p.m., moving into those overnight hours, updating you on those rain chances potentially on Saturday, but also telling you a little bit about those cooler mornings to expect as we move through that extended forecast. Morning show always available with meteorologist Maggie McCauley, 6:37 and 7:30. She'll be tracking some cold weather. Make sure to join her with a warm cup of coffee and that blanket, because you will want to stay as warm as possible, and that's the best way to do so. We'll be doing it as a community. But anyway, that pretty much wraps it up for the 5 o'clock hour. We'll touch base with Chief Meteorologist Matt Laupon at 6 o'clock with our eyes in the sky. And we'll talk the latest forecast details here on Mississippi Live Weather.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.